All right, so if you're new to the live, welcome. My name is Randall. This is the McClures. We react, review, we make fun of, we laugh at stuff. Links are down in the description if you would like to help support. We would appreciate it. We're trying to make a full-time go at this, so your support is needed. The powers that be keep fucking with my stream on YouTube and everywhere else, so your support is needed and appreciated. You can also shop McClures.com, which is a website that sells made in America products. If you want to go check that out. But the story I'd like to cover today is Laura Loomer has been posting some stuff on her X today regarding Ukrainian Nazis involved in January the 6th. Sounds interesting. Definitely sounds interesting. I read a little bit of it, enough to be intrigued and make the thumbnail for today so we could get into the whole story. But we're going to start with this post here. So Laura Loomer says, here's a copy of a police report as well from the ECSO News, Escambia County Sheriff's Office in Florida. When this video of Kent Boneface McLeland was filmed, the officer wrote, "I then contacted the FBI and conducted a field interview on behalf of them. In the report, the officer wrote that McLeland is listed in the FBI's database as a terrorist. He also wrote that McLeland told him he's a member of the Nazi militias. He also wrote that in 2012, McLeland was arrested by the FBI for conducting domestic terrorist military training." Let me put this on the big screen for you guys. He also wrote that, the police report also mentioned that Boneface the MC traveled to Ukraine numerous times as a Nazi to fight against the Russians. This is also documented. So why is the FBI and the CIA using known violent Nazi domestic terrorists as assets? And why is our government paying for them to be sent overseas to fight alongside Nazi militants like Right Sector and Azov Battalion in Ukraine against the Russians? And why is Florida law enforcement allowing for dangerous Nazi terrorists to roam the streets freely when they admit in video that McLeland is armed and dangerous? So that doesn't work. We tried to make that bigger so we could zoom in on what it says, and I can't really make any of that out. Maybe if we go bigger on this screen. Oh, there we go. All right, so here's the actual police statement. When I then spoke with McLeland more in depth about what he does, McLeland stated that he is an active member of a neo-Nazi militia. He stated that he has been a member of the organization for a long time, and that in 2012 he was arrested by the FBI for conducting military training. All right, so this is just a proof of what she said in the actual statement. So she's just showing the receipts that she's not full of shit. Okay.
I'm looking up. I couldn't. I put. All right. That's they saw.
So we think that's his real name.
I'm looking up. I couldn't. I put in Kent. I played with Kent and nothing came up when I looked it up the first time. I haven't tried the second time. Have you ever been in trouble in Escambia County before?
No, sir. Not.
Ordered a plane and. Well, we got set. I'm way black.
Yeah, I'll get that one.
You know your driver's license number?
No, sir. Not.
Spell your last name.
MC.
First name?
N-A-N-T.
Middle name?
Ryan, sir.
Birthday?
April 22nd, 1990, sir.
Of what?
April 22nd, 1990.
Yeah. That's him. That's different. What was the other thing that popped up? Terrorist organization number.
Sure.
Never seen that one before.
Is it?
It says the Contact the Screening Center.
Oh yeah, my bad.
I've never seen that before.
I've never seen it either.
Arms, dangerous, violent tendencies. It's definitely him.
Considered armed and dangerous.
You got Border Patrol's phone number on this.
What's that?
You got Border Patrol's phone number on this.
Really?
Are you from Ukraine?
I just came back from this, sir.
He just came back
It
from
says
over
to
there.
contact the FBI. We're in Canada.
We'll do it.
Well, that escalated from a
We're going to be calling
Technically-
Border Patrol. We're going to call
FBI.
FBI.
Technically,
Okay, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. So she posted a copy of the police report along with the story. Here's actually the one that I saw that had me interested. She said, I also like to remind everyone that Undersecretary of State Victoria Nuland, the current Deputy Secretary of State under Joe Biden, traveled to Ukraine in 2014 when she worked in the Obama administration. Her purpose of traveling to Ukraine was to assist the Ukrainians with their color revolution. It has all come full circle. So if we click this original story, she says, now that I've exposed Ukrainian Nazis working with the CIA and FBI, let me show you how this isn't a one-time thing, and let me show you how our government is working with Ukrainian neo-Nazis to instigate conflict in America and recruit for white supremacist movements, both domestically and internationally. On January 6, 2021, a known Ukrainian neo-Nazi spy was identified in front of the U.S. Capitol and additionally confirmed to be a Ukrainian spy by the FBI in an interview with January 6 defendant Jacob Chansley, the American shaman, also known as the QAnon shaman. I personally spoke to Jacob. He confirmed to me that the FBI told him during the interview with him and his lawyer that the person he was pictured with at the Capitol on January 6 was in fact a known Ukrainian spy. The FBI asked Jacob Chansley if he knew the Ukrainian spy. Jacob didn't know who he was and said the man approached him and asked him for a photo. The FBI knew of a Ukrainian spy outside of the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, and yet this was never reported or even mentioned to the J6 committee. This same Ukrainian spy, who was identified by the FBI, has been identified via facial recognition technology as Sergei Dembian, whatever that says, a neo-Nazi who works in Ukraine. Despite the picture with Jacob Chansley being taken at the front door of the U.S. Capitol, the FBI has never placed Sergei Dembian on their January 6th most wanted list. Okay. And he has not been arrested over January 6th like the American shaman was. Jacob Chansley was arrested, incarcerated, and yet Sergei Dembian, the U.S.-backed neo-Nazi, still runs free with the help of the FBI. Interestingly enough, Sergei was also once photographed with John McCain and Lindsey Graham. That's interesting as well. Is our government using Ukrainian spies and neo-Nazis to instigate political conflict and falsely accuse Trump supporters of being white supremacists? Excuse me. Interestingly enough, or let me remind you that there is also documentation of Ukrainian Nazis being present at the Charlottesville March, which Joe Biden infamously used to launch his 2020 presidential campaign by using false claims that Donald Trump said Nazis were very good people. This lie was used to launch a massive cancel culture campaign aimed at Trump supporters, and it opened the door for the DOJ to accuse Trump supporters of being white supremacists. I believe I have uncovered something massive, and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time this weekend in Altamonte Springs, Florida. Our government appears to be using Ukrainian Nazis and American Nazis as confidential informants to recruit more Nazis to fight in the Ukraine-Russian war, and by doing so, they are endangering the lives of the American citizens and compromising our national security. U.S.-backed Ukraine Nazi. They're saying that this is the Sergei Dambian. I don't know if that's the same Sergei right there. But that's definitely McCain and Graham with some Ukrainian soldiers. We also have Donetsk Airport, Ukraine, 2014. So this is the color revolution when they installed the current leader of Ukraine, Zelensky. And then here he is with the QAnon shaman. And that's definitely the same guy. That video is, or photo is definitely the same guy. So here he is. Ukrainian army dude. He's a spy, according to Laura Loomer. And again, just to confirm, he is in the picture January 6th, right in front of the Capitol. You can see the pillars right there in front of the door. Ukrainian spy. Interesting stuff, no? I think it's highly interesting. I think it is highly interesting. So now let's watch this. Nazi terrorist Kent Boneface McLellan admits that the CIA sent him to Ukraine to join the Azov Battalion. As I exposed this weekend, McLellan was participating in the Nazi March in Altamonte Springs, Florida this weekend. He was arrested in Florida by the FBI in 2012 for domestic terrorism. Why is the CIA and FBI working with a violent terrorist and criminals in the U.S. and sending them overseas to fight Russians alongside Nazi Ukrainian Azov Battalion? Let's take a look at this video.
But that's not the FBI that does that. It was Central.
So this is him on RT.
There's a lot of hype about the FBI sending me over there, but that's not the FBI that does that. It was Central Intelligence that got me involved in that. There's a lot of hype about the FBI sending me over there, but that's not the FBI that does that. It was Central Intelligence that got me involved in that. There's a lot of hype about
what
the
an
FBI sending me
evil,
over there, but that's not the FBI that does
demented,
that.
ugly mother right there, bro. That is crazy. All right, let's see if she got anything else on this. She's resharing it. She's resharing it. All right, she retweeted Roger Stone, who retweeted her. She retweeted a retweet of a shared of a retweet. So DC Drano post. FBI knew about it and interrogated J6 suspects about it. J6 media never told us. FBI never told us. The GOP never told us. But Loomer did. And then General Mike Flynn. He tapped in. Makes great sense. And my first question is, where is the Florida Department of Public Safety and Ron DeSantis and his office on this issue? If I were governor, I would have an immediate APB out on this guy, and at a minimum, we'd be looking to boot him out of Florida or have him arrested. If Laura Loomer is right about the FBI-CIA connection, which I fully suspect is 100% solid intel, Both these organizations need to be booted out of the state of Florida, as well for placing the citizens of Florida at grave risk. What say you, Ron? There are dangerous Nazi sympathizers who put the safety and security of citizens of Florida lives at risk. All right, so General Michael Flynn tapping in on the latest Laura Loomer story. And then Laura Loomer says she's justified by what she did here in this video.
You even censored President Trump when one of your employees... Mr. Dorsey, you are lying about censoring conservatives. You were caught on tape by Project Veritas shadow banning people. You were censoring people. You censored me. You censored Milo. You censored Chuck Johnson, James O'Keefe. You even censored President Trump when one of your employees deleted his account for a few minutes. You are censoring conservatives, and I'm asking you, President Donald Trump, help us. Please help us, Mr. President, before it is too late, because Jack Dorsey is trying to influence the election, to sway the election so that the Democrats can steal the election. That is why he is censoring and shadow banning conservatives. You are a liar, Jack Dorsey. You are a liar, Jack Dorsey. You unverified me on November 15th.
Do you hear this idiot Democrat trying to do auction voice up there to drown out what she's saying? Why are you so scared of what she's saying? The cops are on the way to pull her out of the room. Let them do their job. I don't know why you got to do your fake auctioneer voice so people don't hear what she's saying. That's stupid.
2017.
Officer, will you escort this young lady out, please?
Stop the bias. We are conservative Americans, not Russian bots, Jack Dorsey. Stop the bias. Stop censoring conservatives.
Who is this Mr. Long dumbass from Missouri?
We are not Russian bots.
Shut your fat ass up, bro. Nobody wants to see your fat ass jowls jiggle around while you do some fake auctioneering voice because you don't want to hear what Laura Loomer has to say. She's been on the ball, though. She has been on the ball for years. And apparently this latest story that she exposed, it's going to be a big deal, folks. I think it's going to be a big deal. I really do. It's going to show that there is deep embedded coordination between the three-letter agencies of this country and the destruction of this country. And they're intimately involved in it. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about Ukrainian Nazis being present on January the 6th? Nobody telling us about it. What do we think about CIA sending and recruiting Nazi Americans to go fight with Nazi Ukrainians? How do we feel about this? Definitely an interesting story, folks. Definitely an interesting story. If you're on the live, we're going to keep going. I'm going to put this out as a video. If you're watching as a video, make sure you come check us out live. Links are, of course, down in the description if you'd like to help support the channel. We are trying to make a go at this, so every dollar helps. It's not beneath me to beg for donations, so I will. So with your support, we can keep making more streams and more content. We are trying to make this a full-time gig, so if you can help, we'd appreciate it. Click the follow, click the join, click the subscribe, click the share, click all that shit. We appreciate it. Later, bye.